The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Thank you for joining us tonight. President Trump may be walking back on his promise to send the National Guard to Chicago for a crime crackdown, now suggesting New Orleans may be a better move.
So we're making a determination now. Do we go to Chicago or do we go to a place like New Orleans, where we have a great governor, Jeff Landry, who wants us to come?
Now, Trump has said his decision to deploy the National Guard to cities is part of a move to fight crime, but critics have argued that it is an overreach. City data indicates that the overall crime rate in New Orleans is down 21.5% compared to last year. Joining us to talk about it, political analyst Dr. Dietrich von Bietenfeld, University of Houston downtown professor Dr. David Branham, and New Orleans native 504 Kilo, who was just here last week with our Katrina special. So when you hear President Trump saying that he needs to send the troops to your hometown because of crime, your thoughts about that, Kilo?
We don't need troops. We need resources. New Orleans need more resources. The 20-year anniversary of Katrina, what people don't understand is that when Katrina hit, a lot of people were displaced, and a lot of people that's living through Katrina didn't get the resources they need. Today, a lot of stuff is still closed, a lot of businesses are still closed, and the crime rate, man, police is, you know, we need police, but if you look at the statistics, what I looked at, they're doing their job. More police officers are going into the neighborhoods, they're meeting with different people, you know, in the community, and they're working through it. We need resources. We don't need police.
If troops arrive there, do you think there will be a situation where they will be unwelcomed by the residents of New Orleans, knowing exactly what they feel like the president is doing with their presence there in the Crescent City?
I think 50-50, my opinion. It's 50-50. You got some people that think that will work, and you got some people that think it wouldn't work. Me personally, like I say, I think we need more resources than more police.
All right. Dr. Branham, your thoughts about the president's latest move, backing away sort of from Chicago, now with his eye on New Orleans, where I guess you would get less opposition from the city leader, Mayor Cantrell there, who's currently just indicted in August for wire fraud. So what do you think is going on there?
Yeah, well, the mayor's not really in a position to really protest this, especially with Governor Landry coming through and saying, we want you to come. In this situation, now we have a legal situation for the president to come in and use the troops to come in. Unlike Chicago, where it was basically explained to him yesterday by a federal judge, this is illegal. And I'm thinking he's seeing the tea leaves that on down the road, the Supreme Court is even going to say, no, you're past what you can do in your powers as president. But now, he can go to New Orleans with the governor's welcome, and it's legal for him to do it. And he says that he can clean up the city in 2 weeks. Okay, I'm a skeptic. I don't think you can clean up the city in 2 weeks. I don't think you can get it all done. And even if you do, you're just going to leave, and everything's going to go back the way it was. But I'm saying now, let's give him a try. You got 2 weeks. Go into New Orleans. Show us what you can do. And then, you know, they will know really whether this is a serious cure to problems of crime, or it's just some political stance.
All right. Dr. von Bietenfeld, your thoughts about this?
I mean, there are the perceptual problems of bringing troops into an area on the 20th anniversary of Katrina when those troops weren't there to help the citizens. I also agree with Kilo on the idea that a lot of this is resource-based, and so firing IGs and public corruption units at the federal level and then going in and saying, well, we're not worried about public corruption, we're worried about crime, when the statistics say that the crime is down, those are problematic. But again, Dr. Branham's 100% right. This is a friendly governor, and so states where you could really do some positive impacts include Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Anchorage, Alaska, where you'd have a Republican mayor and a Republican governor, but we're not looking at those right now. Memphis is a very high crime rate, Democratic mayor, Republican governor, where this could be done as well. But New Orleans seems to have a weaker mayor or in a weakened position, and a friendly Republican governor to overcome that LA ruling that we had with the federal judge that we talked about yesterday. So maybe President Trump's checking his social media, watched the show last night and said, oh, this is how we get around this.
And so when we take a look at these invitations from these Republican state leaders, is it sustainable for the president to just do a tour around the country wherever he may be invited, even if there are no serious crime issues?
Well, this is what I see. I see these Democratic states saying, we don't want you here no matter what. We don't want you here. Stay away. And he did that for a while, and the courts are saying, well, you can't do this. Now he's getting welcoming mats from the other Republican states. And he's going to take federal dollars and move them into those Republican states, and it's going to be of benefit to them because all those dollars are going there, and he's going to tell the Democratic states, well, sorry, I asked you and you said no. So now I think he's got a leg up on this from that standpoint, but then he has to perform. Mm-hmm. That's the hard part, is what kind of performance is he going to get out of the National Guard, sending them into this city where half the people don't want him there. It's going to be difficult, and I think he's going to run into a lot of roadblocks that he didn't otherwise think of.
Are we hearing any reaction from family and friends there, Kilo, about this potential? What are they saying, if anything?
They don't want it. Resources, again, like he said, the money needs to go to the people and putting it in place where it's going to benefit the people. If you're going to spend that type of money, at least send somebody down there. Let them talk to the community. Let them know where those dollars are going to need to be placed at. School, healthcare, reform. Policing is not always the answer. Conversation and knowing where the dollars need to be put is the best solution. And that's what I think that needs to happen. With Katrina, they don't understand how a lot of people was affected. Those kids was 8 and 9 years old. They're now 20, 21. We're living in a state where these kids that's adults are moving in a way that they just don't care based upon how they were treated when that happened. Mm-hmm. You're 9 years old sitting on the roof waiting for help, looking at bodies and stuff. You have a different perception of life. Nobody sit there and sent any type of mental health at that point when people needed it. They need resources, communities, they need outreach, they need lessons. People need to be taught. The crime is going down. We already know that. If you want to help, put that money somewhere where it's needed.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. We appreciate your time.